Good evening, my friends, and welcome to my channel. We are going to continue to do some more pages to use in the small journals that I'm planning to make. And I still got these questions and comments that I want to paint watercolor, but I can't do it, and I will never be able to paint something beautiful. But I'm going to continue to say that it don't need to be beautiful and perfect and in any way seen what it is. You can do an abstract where just put down the colors you love and make circles, make stripes, just splatter on color, do anything as long as you have fun. But there was one comment about if they could use some other person's art. And sorry, it's my printer that is awaking of some fun way. So I print out something from, this was just from Pinterest, and I thought I would show you a really easy way to copy someone else's art. Not in that way that you are going to do exactly the same, but you can kind of use the basics to get inspired to paint. So print out something that you would like to color, or at least try to make something similar with your paints. And the easiest way to do it, because you are not going to do every little thing that you see on this paper, is to take a graphite pen of some sort and then just do this on the back of the picture that you want to do. And if it's just part of a picture, then you of course just need to do this on that part that you want to use. So just cover the surface on the back side of the things that you want to do. Then you can just put it on a paper. I'm going to use a watercolor paper, but you can take a thinner paper if you would like that, and just gesso it so that you can make sure that you can paint on it later on, like that. And then you can take the same pen or something that are a bit more harder on the tip, and then outline a bit rough. Just taking the green leaves first. and I can't really see the shapes perfectly, so something like that. So then we can take this off, and you have a shape that you can follow. And you have your rose, you have petals, you have the container that it's sitting in, and then you can use this picture to look at while you are painting this. And let's try that. I can speed it up a little bit if you, or you can do that yourself. I'm doing it in real time, and then if you want to see it faster, you can just speed it up a little bit. So let's choose some colors and put them on the palette. I'm just blending some different greens first. Some lighter and some darker, just to kind of have some different greens to use. As you can see, there are a lot of colors in this, and these are layers that are done maybe 4 or 5 times when it has dried in between. So don't think about that you need to do all these small differences. We are going to do kind of a light wash first, where we put in just the color where we want it, and then we can do some more layering afterwards. So let's start with these leaves. I'm taking some water and I'm just putting it down on the paper so it can soak a little bit. And I'm not going to even tape this down or something. If it wants to move and bend, let it do that. And I'm not going to be disturbed of the lines. I'm just going to paint over them as they are. So a bit roughly putting down water where I want my greens to kind of flow. There was something green over here that I didn't see or think of. So let's put a little bit of water there too. Let's take that bigger one. So then I'm just choosing one of these and put in some green color. And leaving it and let the water do its own thing. I'm not even doing it following the lines. I'm just splashing in the water a little bit. Shiny, so I need to lift my paper so I can see where I have put the water. And I'm going in before it has dried totally. I'm going in and putting in some darker color here and there where I see that it's really dark. I will put in a little bit of extra color there. But still just dabbing it in and try to not paint the leaves. Don't mind the shapes too much. And then I'm going even a little bit more dark, taking a bit of brown where I can see that could be needed. And then we are going to leave it to dry before we do anything more. I don't want it to dry too much while we are putting this in. Want a little bit of even color in it. I will stop there. So I'm leaving this to dry now, and then we are going to go back in and do some more color in a little while. So it's dried, so let's continue. Doing the same again, I'm wetting these surfaces where I want to paint the flower. I don't want it to be too perfect. So then I'm taking some different pink colors instead. Some lighter and some darker. And some more reddish. And the same again, dabbing in some color in the wet areas that I have done. And hopefully this will, a bit much water there, it's pooling. I'm leaving a little bit of small white areas where it just gets a bit more shape. And as you can see there, it's a rose, even if I haven't even tried to make a rose yet. Using some magenta and putting in a little bit of black in it. And dabbing in that in the areas that are a bit darker. And then it's a little bit of kind of brownish yellow tone that it often is in roses. And this area is still dry, so I'm not putting in too much water in that one. I don't want it to the yellow go into the pink. Even going to dab a little bit of that yellow off. For now, you can fill it in more later. Then I'm going a little bit closer on this. Just with some water and going against the black a little bit. Taking my brush and just pressing it down and lifting up some color so get it a little bit more light. Just drying it off and then going back in. A little bit of water on it and dabbing it off. Where I can see there are more light in the rose. So I think I will go and take some salt. And in these areas that it's lighter, I'm just going to put a few pieces of ordinary table salt, or whatever salt you have. You don't need to use something special. Okay, so again, just leave this to dry and I will be back. So it has dried and I have taken off the salt, and if you don't want to do anything more, this is done. But if you would like to have a little bit more, you can do some lines and maybe put in a little bit more color. So should we give it a little bit more, maybe something light and yellowish? See if that is something that can add a little bit of interest. Gives the leaves a little bit more of differences in the colors. I'm using yellow ochre. You know me, I don't want it too yellowish. Putting on a little bit more water on these, and then I'm adding a little bit more dark. And the same on the edge of this one, and the stem that goes down a little bit there and there, putting in a little bit black. So I'm just kind of looking at the picture, and where I think there I have put too much light of the color, I put in a little bit more dark. I'm putting down some clean water on that so it can spread a little bit. And remember, I'm no watercolor expert, so I'm just going for my feeling, with my feelings and what I think could be nice, and following the picture, of course. Splattering. And then I'm actually going to take a little bit of acrylic white and maybe just put in some lightnings. And then I'm adding a little bit of the dark magenta with a little bit of black in it. Adding a little bit of water to the edges so they won't be too harsh. Okay, try again. So this is the picture when it's done. And then I took one of my old letters from my farm and put that first in the copier and ran it through one time. And then I took my picture and my painting and put that on top of the letter that I have printed in black and white first. And then I took a photo and made this on top of it. That way you get some layered paper that is really nice to use in your journals. And if you remember, I did a couple of paintings on these small cards. With the thin watercolor paper. So I took 2 of those and did the same. So I used a coffee dyed paper, and then I first took 1 copy of the letter in black and white, so you don't get this yellowish tone from the paper, just the text. And then I put 2 of these and printed on top of it. Then you get this layered with the beautiful text in the background. So I hope that give you some idea what you can do with your paintings. And if you want to have it lighter, so you can have it as a background for writing, you can just put a thin paper first on your printer. Then it will tone it down so it won't get so heavy in the colors. You can also do that on scripts that are very hard and strong and you want to soften them down. And you can do like this when you print them and put them down and scan them on your printer. Then you get a very soft text to have as a background in your paintings. So go and play, and I will be back and show you some more tricks later on. Have a nice evening and bye bye from Sweden.